In previous generations, men had very, very strict fathers that were quite aggressive and hostile and stuff, and they just accepted that as a norm. Now, the generation of men realize that that was, or they think that was wrong, right? So if they had that strict, stern father, they hated that. So they follow the instructions of their mothers. What do mothers teach you? Don't argue, don't stand up for yourself, don't just listen, just be obedient, just listen to me and feel sorry for me. That's what mothers teach their kids, feel sorry for me. So they go into the real world, and when they're engaging with women, they're like, I want to be nothing like my dad. My dad always set boundaries. My dad was a bit stern. My dad was a bit hostile. I want to be just nice because mum says that's what works. Be nice. In the process of doing that, they emasculate themselves. So what they'll do is they think that the way to a woman's heart is by listening and submitting. They don't realize the way to her heart is showing her who you are and taking her into your world. They think, let me just adapt myself into her world. Let me go to the hairdressers with her. Let me go shop for lingerie with her. Let me just wait and carry her bags. Then she'll love me. But really, she wants to see what you are, who you are. She wants to follow your lead. So in the beginning stages, she might reward that. She might think, oh, it's great that you just answer the calls every day and you stay on FaceTime while I do my makeup and you just, pick me up anytime and you just carry my bags and you cancel your plans just to kind of watch me get my hair done. Later, she will miss the fact that you don't have an identity, and she'll miss the fact that you don't have that masculinity, and she'll start to get more and more disrespectful. When a woman loves a man more than he loves her, the relationship lasts a lot longer because she's willing to fight through the rough times. But when a man likes a woman more than she likes him, he becomes emasculated. He loses his masculinity to please her. He becomes a people pleaser. He'll bend over backwards. And in his desperate attempt to keep her, he loses the attraction even more so. Gone are the days where girls will appreciate that. Instead, they will actually use that as they use that man as a punching bag. What a nice guy will do is pretend he's being respectful when really he's afraid of rejection. And if he simply risked it and took the bait and perhaps risked rejection, he is then more likely to be attractive than the guy who simply pretends he doesn't have those intentions at all and masks his intentions. I never knew how bad it is for men when it comes to dating. It's impossible for them to find a loyal girl these days, but they accept the unacceptable. The men I'm around don't accept the unacceptable. So I know, and I always knew if I did a certain behavior, if I did something like this, the type of man I want would never accept it. But there are men out there that will allow a woman to cheat again and again, be promiscuous, go out, disrespect him, and he'll still beg her for attention. Guys, one of the most toxic pieces of advice that I see online is that if you show somebody unconditional love, they will change and become a loving partner. Unfortunately, that's simply not true. The moment you show people unconditional love and you accept unacceptable behavior in the name of love, you actually get the worst behavior from them. They become increasingly disrespectful, they break more and more boundaries, and they're waiting to push you to the point where they can learn that there is a deal breaker. Until they see it, they'll keep getting worse. If you forgive a woman for cheating, she will forever cheat on you and just use you for free accommodation, and that seems to be a big trigger.
Why? Why do you think it's so triggering for people?
I think the thing is, there's a lot more men that forgive cheating than they care to admit. It's very difficult for a man because, when you go through something like that, you're not allowed to tell anybody because then you look like, you're weak, so you can't really tell your friends.
Women cheat more than men?
Far more.
Come on.
Far more.
Come on.
Far from.
Why do you think women cheat more than men?
Because they're in denial about the infidelity. When they cheat, they don't even label it as that. If a woman starts cheating,
what do they label it as?
They label it as my husband's no longer satisfying me. They won't even say I'm cheating. They'll say my husband isn't satisfied. They find a way to redirect and shift the terminology so that they are void of guilt. Because firstly, you'll know, it's simple signs that you'll know. Firstly, when the guy, I always say infidelity is a result of men not being masculine and women not being feminine. And what I mean by this is if a woman is cheating, it's because she has a man that accepts unacceptable because he is unwilling to walk away when his boundaries are broken. Women are not special. They remember that. I might think she's special, I might treat her like she's special, but I know she's not special. So what happens is men like that is when they go out and they meet girls on a night out, they'll talk to a girl, be like, hey, how are you doing? You look great, blah, blah. And she's like, sorry, I have a boyfriend. They're like, he's a lucky guy, have a great day. they go to the next one. If she's not interested, there's another one. Guys that are fearful of rejection, the first one that rejects, think that if it's not her, it's nobody. You're going to set yourself up for isolation in that space. You really are. And that doesn't mean you don't commit to your partner and you don't show them loyalty. It means you do show them love and loyalty, but at the end of the day, if they're not showing you the same back and they're rejecting you back, it doesn't mean you try harder. That's what weak men, best way to handle rejection is to understand that if she's not reciprocating and she's not giving you the same love back, she can't be special. Therefore, there must be somebody else. People who give too much and give hoping that you'll attach them end up with people who take a lot. And with takers, they actually lose love and attachment to the person that they're taking from. Those girls will actually become more disrespectful and more rude to you because there's a part of us that feels a bit guilty when somebody gives too effortlessly to us. You have to give with zero expectation of attachment. You do it because you have a particular skill and you want to give that skill to other people, not because you want that person to like you.